Good morning again, my dear students. Today we are going to check also our understanding about the photosynthesis process and how does it take place. As we know, during photosynthesis, a gas is absorbed and another gas is released. Excellent, Ali. A gas is absorbed and another gas is released. What gas is absorbed during photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide. Excellent, Habibi. So the carbon dioxide is the gas absorbed during photosynthesis. What is released during photosynthesis? Oxygen. Which living beings need oxygen? All living things need oxygen. Why? To breathe in. Excellent, student. To breathe in. So in the next question, number 3, page 33, asks you to observe the following document. In this experiment or in this exercise, we are going to study the gaseous exchange, that takes place during photosynthesis. As we know, what gases then are exchanged?
Oxygen and carbon dioxide.
Excellent, then oxygen and carbon dioxide. So in order to study the gases exchange, we use the setup below. This is called setup experiment. So we use this instrument to measure or to find the amount of oxygen absorbed and released during photosynthesis and also amount of carbon dioxide. How much, Hussein Hamoud, the amount of oxygen was at the beginning of the experiment? 15 milligram per liter. How does it become, Hussein Hamoud, at the end of the experiment? 18 milligram. Does it increase or decrease? Increases. Excellent. So the amount of oxygen increases because it is released during photosynthesis, while the amount of carbon dioxide, let's see the amount of carbon dioxide. The amount of carbon dioxide. What was the amount of carbon dioxide, Ali Al-Azhar, at the beginning? 6 milligram per liter. What does it become at the end? Decrease. Excellent, Ali. It decreases to become 5 milligram per liter. Who can tell me why does the amount of carbon dioxide decreases? Why does the amount of carbon dioxide decrease?
Because it don't take sun and air.
Yes.
Because the green plant absorb.
Excellent, because the green plants absorb the amount of carbon dioxide. Excellent, students. So, because the amount of carbon dioxide is absorbed during photosynthesis, it means that all living things use oxygen, as we said before, to breathe or to respire and release carbon dioxide. But during photosynthesis, the green plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Excellent till now. Now, by observing the experiment below, we have to represent the results of the experiment as a table. What was the amount of oxygen at the beginning of the experiment and how does it become at the end? Who can tell me? What was the amount of oxygen at the beginning of the experiment and at the end of the experiment?
Miss, yes?
Repeat.
Okay. At the beginning of the experiment, the amount of the oxygen, it was 15 milligram.
The amount of oxygen at the beginning of the experiment was 15 milligram per liter. Excellent. How does it become at the end?
At the end becomes 18 milligram.
Excellent. 18 milligram per liter. 18 milligram per liter. Excellent, Jude. Let's move to Tia. Tia, how does the amount of carbon dioxide was at the beginning of the experiment?
Yes, the carbon dioxide was 5 milligram.
5 milligram per liter. How does it become at the end? Okay, Ali Sarhan, can you continue please? What was the amount of carbon dioxide at the beginning of the experiment?
At the beginning of the experiment, the amount of carbon dioxide is 6.
Was 6. What does it become at the end?
At the end of the experiment, the amount of carbon dioxide becomes 5.
Excellent, becomes 5. It means it decreases to 5 because it is absorbed during photosynthesis. Excellent. Now, in part B, we have to pick up the posed problem. The posed problem means what was the experiment about, or why did they make the experiment? Why the experimenter did the experiment? Why? In order to what? Okay, Ali, can you please?
They do this experiment
Yes.
to see what the green plants absorb and release.
So the experimenter made this experiment in order to observe what is absorbed and what is released during photosynthesis. Or, excellent Ali, or we can say also, this means Ali, to study the posed problem is written in the question, in the problem question, is to study the gaseous exchange that takes place during photosynthesis. But also, of course, Ali, your answer is correct, okay? Excellent students. So let's write the answer before we are going to continue asking the students. To study, you have to write, follow me writing please, page 33. To study the gaseous exchange, to study the gaseous exchange that takes place, to study the gaseous exchange that takes place during photosynthesis. During photosynthesis. Ali Lazar again, Habibi. You have to compare the amounts of oxygen and carbon dioxide at the beginning and at the end of the experiment. What was the amount of oxygen at the beginning of the experiment and how does it become at the end? Also about the carbon dioxide.
At the beginning of the experiment,
Yes.
the amount of carbon dioxide was 15.
Yes, the amount of oxygen was 15. How does it become?
It becomes 18, so it increases.
Excellent. So the amount of oxygen increases during photosynthesis. While
the amount of carbon dioxide was 6 at the beginning of the experiment, and at the end of the experiment it was 5, so it decreases.
excellent. So it decreases. Why it decreases?
The plant absorbs it.
Excellent, Ali. Because the green plant absorbs carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. So that's why the amount of carbon dioxide decreases. So let's start now. Excellent, Ali. The amount of oxygen, at the beginning of the experiment was 15 milligram per liter. It increases to become 18 milligram per liter at the end of the experiment, or at the end, while the amount of carbon dioxide or CO2, we can say also CO2, decreases from 6 milligram per liter to 5 milligram per liter. So that's our answer. In part D, we have to draw out our conclusion. It means, why is the amount of oxygen increased and the amount of carbon dioxide decreased? Why?
Because the green plant need carbon dioxide.
Excellent, Ali Burja. So that's why the green plants need carbon dioxide during photosynthesis and they release oxygen. Excellent, student. Let's write our answer. Green plants, we can say green plants need CO2 during photosynthesis, or absorb CO2 during photosynthesis, and release O2 or oxygen. That's our evaluation for today. Thank you.